Hello, my name is Paula Brooks. Today I am presenting to you the Camp Lick Botany Resource Story. I will be covering rare plants, special forest products, and culturally significant plants in this talk. Rare plants include federally listed endangered or proposed species under the Endangered Species Act. These are the plants that have the most rare status for us. For the Malheur National Forest, there are no federally listed rare plants. We do have whitebark pine, which is a candidate species for listing. It is found on the Malheur National Forest in very high elevation dry sites. However, there is no habitat like this present in the Camp Lick area, so therefore there is no whitebark pine also. The Forest Service designates what they call sensitive species. The regional forester is responsible for naming which of these species we look for. These are species where population viability is a concern. The list is updated periodically. We're in the middle of that right now. And the ultimate goal of the Sensitive Species Program is to prevent species from becoming federally listed. So sensitive plants for us includes vascular plants. This is what you generally think of as a plant. Flowers, grasses, things like that. But it also includes non-vascular plants. These are plants that move water simply through osmosis, and that includes mosses and liverworts. And then we also have one lichen on our rare list, and lichen is a symbiotic relationship between an algae and a fungus. They live together as one organism. And then lastly, there are mushrooms also on our sensitive species list. We only have one mushroom on our sensitive species list right now. Most rare plants are found in what we call special habitats or unusual soil types. This is because the main reason these plants are rare is they have very special requirements for their environmental needs. Special habitats includes things such as cliffs, talus slopes, shallow soil lithosols, commonly called scabs, peat bogs, wetlands, springs, or unusual soils such as limestone or serpentine. Since so many plants grow in special habitats, it is important that we create project design features to protect these special habitats. These design features often include guidelines to buffer these habitats from ground disturbance. This strategy reduces the need to survey large areas of potential habitat for the sensitive plants. We conduct botany surveys here on the forest for each project area. We search high probability habitats for the rare plants. We also document non-native invasive species that we find, and we generally try to focus on areas where activities are proposed. We also will revisit and assess the known populations of rare plants in the project area. One of the things the surveyors do is they try to identify all the plants they find. This allows us to find new species for the area or things we weren't really expecting. On the Malheur National Forest, we have potentially 88 species of sensitive plants. Of these, 22 species have been documented to occur on the forest. There are 2 species known to occur in the project area, and there are also several others that could potentially be present. One of the sensitive plant species in the Camp Lick project area is Bollander's spikerush. This is a plant that is similar to a grass. It is found in gentle drainages and wet meadows that dry out later in the summer. We have documented 2 populations within the project area. We will develop project design features to protect these populations from disturbance from equipment and piling of slash and burning. The other sensitive plant species in the Camp Lick area is the least Phacelia. This species is also found in meadows that are wet in the spring but dry out later in the year. This plant is very tiny. Some of them are less than 2 inches tall. It's an annual plant and it doesn't come up every year. The conditions must be just right. This species is extremely hard to look for because of its small size and ephemeral nature. There is one documented population of this species in the southwestern portion of the project area. We will have similar project design features to protect this site. There are several other sensitive plant species that could also be in the project area. This would include moonworts, which there are 8 potential sensitive species, and another plant in the same family called the adder's tongue. All of these species are found in wet meadows or riparian zones along creeks. They are very tiny and also hard to look for. These species are also weather dependent. They are perennial, but they don't necessarily produce a leaf every year. The best protection for these species is to maintain hydrology and minimize ground disturbance in riparian areas. The other group of sensitive plants that has relatively high potential in the project area are 2 species of rare rice grasses. These are Henderson's ricegrass and Wallowa ricegrass. These both are found in shallow soiled lithosol areas, often on ridge tops or gentle slopes. They are a small perennial bunch grass. Malheur National Forest has a habitat model to identify possible habitat. In the Camp Lick area, it indicated there are 600 acres of probable habitat. We did not have time last summer to survey all of this habitat. The best protection for these species would be to minimize ground disturbance and also to try to reduce infestations of non-native annual invasive grasses. There are also non-timber special forest products and culturally significant plant species in the Camp Lick project area. The objective in the Forest Service Manual for special forest products is to sell other forest products where it would serve local needs and meet land management objectives. Culturally significant plants are defined as plants which Native people traditionally and still used for food, medicine, shelter, or ceremonial purposes. Firewood and posts and poles are the most important non-timber forest products on the Malheur National Forest. The Firewood program provides an inexpensive heat source for local people and also provides economic opportunities for commercial sales. The economic value to the communities is greatly increased when commercial sales are factored in. Mushrooms also are a commercially valuable product on the Malheur National Forest. They provide an important recreational resource as well as a commercial opportunity. Fruiting of morels are stimulated by fire and other disturbance such as skid trails and animal trails. Timber harvest and burning should provide some short-term increased harvest opportunities for morels. The most prominent culturally significant plant on the Malheur National Forest is huckleberries. These are gathered both for personal use and commercial sales. Fruiting of huckleberries is generally believed to be enhanced by fire and opening up of the forest canopy. Annual crops are highly dependent upon weather and annual pollination. Our timber program in this project area should include some units that will specifically be designed to help enhance huckleberry production. Other culturally significant plants in the project area include yampa and arrowleaf balsam root. These species and many others are gathered by Native Americans for food and ceremonial purposes. Every habitat supports some type of culturally significant plants. Therefore, we do not track or map specific sites for these species. In summary, I would just like to emphasize that the Camp Lick area provides habitat for many other species besides just commercially valuable trees and grasses. The Forest Service is responsible for conserving habitat for all species of plants across the landscape. By maintaining healthy plant communities and natural processes, we should be able to help ensure the sustainability of all species over time across the landscape. Thank you for your attention.